We have joked about this on the show before. There are many dark aspects to OnlyFans behind the glamorous photos, the glamorous portrayal, and marketing ploys that they use. Recently, the Daily Mail interviewed someone who went undercover as an OnlyFans chatter. And these people are low-wage workers who essentially catfish simps on OnlyFans in the private messaging feature, pretending to be the hot chicks, when in reality it is a middle-aged man in Bangladesh that you're sexting with.
It can't even be a middle-aged woman in Bangladesh.
Not even. No, actually it is quite diverse. But here it says, the world of OnlyFans is filled with success stories, but peel the layers back and you might see that beyond a sultry photo shoot of what a subscriber considers to be a beautiful woman they're paying hundreds for attention from is actually a 27-year-old man in Venezuela. Daily Mail looked into the murky underground world of OnlyFans chatters, anonymous employees taken on by agencies to carry out conversations with clients.
I found 3 separate articles from 3 separate outlets with 3 separate individual stories just about chatters, meaning Daily Mail, the one that you sent me, and then there's another one from the Hollywood Reporter.
Right. Well, the Daily Mail interviewed this Wired reporter named Brendan Corner, and he said, I went undercover as a secret OnlyFans chatter. It wasn't pretty, and I wouldn't guess that it was, Brendan.
Shocking.
From satisfying online fantasies with suggestive dialogue to simply sending heartening messages of support, these staff are hired for work, usually making a measly $5 an hour.
Well, that's what happens when we send all the jobs overseas.
So basically, all you need to get a job as an OnlyFans chatter is to have a strong command of the English language. Obviously, I mean, even that is kind of a stretch. And secondly, live in a country that has below what we consider to be minimum wage norm. So they're paying them like maybe $1 to $5 at most an hour to sext with random men all over the world. And it only makes sense, right? Because there are an estimated 190 million OnlyFans simps, and there are an estimated about 2 million OnlyFans models. So just mathematically, the idea that these women, especially the most successful ones on the platform, could spend hours a day private messaging these men.
Not going to happen.
It's not possible. So there are countless OnlyFans management firms that offer this as their #1 service.
And take like 40% of the revenue.
So they take, you know, obviously skimming off the top. But the point of this private messaging feature is not only to create this fake relationship, this parasocial relationship with the subscriber, with the simp, but it's also to practically upsell them to buy more exclusive content.
I love that they use that word in there.
So
it's the most.
You're basically, if you're one of these OnlyFans chatters, you are.
Do they have commission rates?
Yes, you earn a commission based on how much you can upsell exclusive content to the simps. That is, of course, you know, of the OnlyFans model in question, and not yourself. So it's not just the hourly rate, but you make a commission on that as well. Does it sound like something you would be like mentally capable of doing? Because most people, I feel this would break them.
No, I don't. I mean, like the average person probably couldn't sell a car either, right? Like sales jobs are unbelievably difficult and high pressure. Imagine the high pressure environment. Actually, never mind. You know what? It's probably easier to separate a coomer from his money than a person looking to buy a car.
Yeah, well, actually, they noted
a coomer and his money are easily parted.
You can keep track of how much money a subscriber has already spent. So if he's a big spender, you can give him more freebies. But if he's a cheapskate, you got to make him pay.
Oh my God.
Like these are actual guidelines that they follow, and you have to study her backstory, what her hobbies are, what foods she likes, what emojis she uses, the type of punctuation that she uses in her sentences. It's a very involved process.
So it's like there's at least one OF chick who still spells a lot ALOT rather than A space LOT. And you have to know that she herself always spells it ALOT.
These are the types of things that you need to study in order to be one of the experts doing OnlyFans private messages. So in his Wired piece, Brendan Corner reflected on how he struggled with the ethics of the chatting world, not just on the side of the people seeking work, but the clients who believe that they are having a private conversation with a woman, and oftentimes they're sending explicit photos they believe will be for her eyes only. I shudder to think what he had to go through in this process.
He just keeps the bleach ready right by it for his eyes every day.
Like, he's seen it all, man. He said, I worried that if I lingered in the chatting world for much longer, I would be forced to lose something that so many of us have struggled to retain, the ability to empathize with people we only know through words on a screen. He spoke about the strange salesman-esque etiquette that chatters are honed to employ. For instance, what happens if they ask for a spicy photo in return to the nude pic they sent? They ask for content, but they have to pay for it. You don't really get freebies unless you're a proven spender.
Look, it's just the evolution of used car salesmen.
Dark. Here he details one of the first jobs that he got doing OnlyFans chatting. He said, good news finally arrived in the form of an email from an agency representative. After I confirmed I'd be willing to work for $5 an hour, plus a 0.5% sales commission, they had me take a brief test. The trickiest of the 3 short answer questions asked me to imagine that I was chatting with a 34-year-old construction site inspector who is a lonely virgin and a cat owner. If this man was droning on and on about how much he hates his job, how would I nudge our chat in a happier direction? I thought back to something that an Argentinian chatter told me about her approach to such situations. A longtime writer of fan fiction and a connoisseur of erotic audio stories, she told me she had an excellent feel for how to get a chat back on track. You can say, oh, I had this really hot dream, or, oh, I just saw this porn video, and you guide the conversation from there. I took the first of her recommended approaches, keeping in mind that my customer seemed to be a sensitive soul. This is the most disturbing part. I told the subscriber I had dreamed of him cooking for me in his apartment as I snuggled up on the sofa with his cat. And this is the quote, I was watching you in the kitchen making me dinner, except now you were wearing something different. Those gray sweatpants that really showed off your body. I felt so happy in that moment. You're talking to the 34-year-old virgin construction worker who lives with his cat.
The natural evolution of the prostitutes or the escorts that do the girlfriend experience, right? This is just that for the digital age.
It's disgusting. I mean, I looked at actually like one OnlyFans model I'm aware of because I met her on the whatever panel one time is Brey Hill, and she's like super popular on the platform.
Is that the one that impersonates Livy Dunn?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And in all of these photos, obviously she's taking like super raunchy photos for Instagram. I look at the captions that she puts on these Instagram posts, and they say stuff that's like addressing the individual who is interacting with her post. She's saying, you're cute. I love you. Come over. Cute date idea. Come over to my house. Like all of this stuff is personally addressing the audience. Like like WYD. Will you be mine? All of these captions are directed at the individual who's reading them.
Sex has been commodified through the internet, so none of this is shocking at all.
I wouldn't call it shocking, but I think that so many people are obfuscating from the issue at hand that it needs to be pointed out.
Go on.
That's why I want to talk about it, because they deny the real nature of what they're doing with these men and their brains.
Yes.
As you said, they are the OnlyFans subscription model is hacking men's brains.
And it takes advantage of the fact that America in particular is going through a male loneliness epidemic that everyone, knows is real, even if feminists will tell you not to talk about it. It is a very real thing. And whenever there is a need to be filled, in a free market, that need will find its way to being filled through industry. In this case, the industry is more advanced than people give it credit for because, like you said, it's globalized now. They have to outsource because you can't run this 12 hours a day. You have to run it 24 hours a day because you're not just going to have subscribers in America. You're going to have subscribers in Italy. You're going to have subscribers in Denmark. You're going to have subscribers all over the planet. So you can't just, have people who are writing chats for you 12 hours out of the day or 16 hours out of the day. None of this is shocking. I take a bit of a doomerist feel to it, but I think that this is a natural outcome of the internet in the way that we've permeated a gender war between men and women, and people seem less happy than they've ever been. At least those on the internet do. And this is just filling that need. It's sad.
Well, contrary to what has been a popular belief for decades, men are not just looking for sex.
Not if the chat you just described. Like, when I think of it, I think of really, really dark sexual fantasies that are far more insidious sounding.
There are plenty of those.
But that's, those aren't the ones who are going to pay out the end all the time. They're going to fill their needs and go. It's the one who's looking for actual emotional connection that's being taken advantage of, perhaps even more. The ones who see it as a transactional relationship, what's the saying? It's like they don't pay the prostitute for sex, they pay for her to leave afterwards. It's the lack of commitment that they're paying for in those situations. In this case, it's the opposite of that. They've turned that on its head. It's the inverse. They're paying for a perceived emotional connection and commitment that isn't there.
Right. And I think that's what makes it more profoundly sad than just the sexual nature of it, is that, these men, as sad as it is, they're looking for some semblance of intimacy that goes beyond just, some depraved sexual fantasy. It goes beyond that, and this is where they're looking to find it. And instead of actually talking to the woman that they're looking at on screen, they're speaking to, yes, another stranger, but some random middle-aged guy in a third world country.
Yeah.
And this is actually built into the business model. There's no way around it. And as things stand currently, OnlyFans bans the use of AI on their platform.
Yeah.
But it's only a matter of time before they either change that policy or it just becomes so hard to detect the use of AI. Not far from the future, they're just going to be using AI to make all of these private messaging jobs irrelevant. All of these people who do OnlyFans chatting jobs are going to get replaced by AI for sure. No time constraints, no language constraints.
Even some of these models will be out of job when
the models as well.
We already see so many of these. There are AI influencers now. And as we get farther and farther from actual human connection, farther and farther from actual physical appearance is going to become even more common.
Right. It's it's really cringy, obviously, and there's material here to laugh at, but it is quite dark. So I hope no OnlyFans simps are watching the show right now. If you are one, you should change that today. But if you weren't aware, you are getting catfished.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.